ViCi Gaming and GOSU, folks. I'm excited to see GOSU. I think that the big narrative with GOSU is obviously HSK departing MVP, and that was done right before the Zotac Asian qualifier for a really big event in their region. You know, he qualified with them to the LAN itself and then dipped out of Dodge. We said, why? Why would he do such a thing? And the answer was GOSU Gaming. He's come back with them, and they will be taking on ViCi here. ViCi, who have the odds in terms of the Betway predictions there, 1.32 to begin this best of one. And wow, we did end up on Inferno with ViCi on the T side.
And did they win 16-7?
Well, not yet.
Stick around to find out.
We'll get there. But it's aggression straight down mid. Jinx has managed to find himself the hyped up Malaysian. So now you are no longer excited.
Unfortunate, yes. It'll be a much harder round now for ViCi, but they're close to the B site. There's only one rotator, and a smoke has popped across, and they've pushed Lakia back into spool. Zoking, first threat. It's going to be too scary looking for Lakia to front face, and the rotators are not in a very good spot.
Oh, it's a bloodbath in the back of the coffins. Lakia and HSK with 3 kills in total. Sioke with the last one. So we've got GOSU on a CT-sided pistol round win.
Nice.
Damn, aggression, man. They just threw themselves down middle.
We're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see a lot of that. It's going to be really fun. This is going to be really fun for sure. It's going to get messy, and there's going to be less room for analysis for sure. But like on that round, for example, the rotator positions would have told you that ViCi could probably get a plant after plant, and we'd see the round go out, play out for another 30 seconds. But then everybody pushes into construction, is happy to take the duels, and it's just whoever is better at shooting wins. Anti-eco on for GOSU. They have gotten a nog. This is going to be a nice way to bully mid. Amin immediately takes a bullet to the brain. Kaze spotted. HSK takes some damage from Stacks, but then turns it into another kill. Takes that, turns it into power, puts it into another person, and pulls that person's soul out of their body. That's what that would sound like.
I'm excited to see how many of the teams, the Asian minor, actually start picking up the AUG, because we saw it a lot out of Europe, and we saw it slightly less so with the CIS teams.
Listen, if you want to transcend the game at this point, you've got to start AUGing. It's just the way of the future. There's room for 5 AUGs.
We've seen it done successfully. I like that Jinx re-aggresses into the apartments. You know, he's keeping things quiet.
Think about it like this.
Yeah.
Would you pay $200 on certain rounds to have a scope added to your M4 if you wanted to use it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I would.
What about $50? So as soon as people get comfortable.
Oh, also, close range one-shot headshots. You know, like, that's the best thing is there's actually even other bonuses.
Right, yeah.
You just got to embrace it, folks. It's not going anywhere.
Yep.
So wield it with power.
It's been kind of satisfying to see some of how quickly you can melt players, for sure. CT side about to have a comeback, a facelift. Advent's not got a lot of money. Stacks went ahead. Once again, we'll go ahead and peek mid. The crouch peek versus him. Kaze tagged in the face. Amin double naded down to 0.
That's sick. They used the smoke grenades to have ViCi fall back, and then those weren't, you know, the frags that blow up at the top of the ramp at the bottom of Banana.
Yeah.
No, those were deep sailing grenades, all the way downtown.
Yeah, and now they're just lurking around with all of this map control. ViCi aren't in. The rotations are strange right now for GOSU. They're in flux between the top of Banana and trading for Arch, and they'll finally pick it up. And ViCi haven't made a move yet, so that's okay. Lakia coming back to hold on to this as ViCi seem to want to put pressure on this site. They've got enough smokes to full exec if they'd like to. But do they want to clear out Banana first? Seems like Kaze's here just to keep him honest.
They're waiting it down. Smoke yet to fade, but the Molotov would clear the corner. They don't go for any spam shots to couple that. Be careful, Jinx. It's a dangerous game, staying inside the smoke. But here comes the trades out from Arch. So it is GOSU to try and take an initiative. Then Jinx with the element of surprise drops bomb. Good bits of support here for GOSU. They were, of course, in that 4v4, but their two players set one another up very well on both sides of the map.
That's true.
You know,
There
good,
was
good team play there.
Yeah, there was baits in tandem on A and Banana. So GOSU steal a third, and ViCi can only upgrade their pistols this round. Not enough money to full buy. All of the M4s have turned into AKs, and Stax keeps the AUG, the most superior of them all. Jinx, throw controlling, zoning a Molotov down to the bottom of Banana, and Stax looks to come from behind. Oh my goodness. Easy AUG spray, and the AWP to support. An AWP to support.
Just mince meat. They're going to go ahead and grab back their AWP, the biggest investment of the round, but that is 4 rounds in a row GOSU have just thrown themselves down middle.
So what, okay, let's see. What will they do? Kaze picks up the AWP for the first time. Moving into round 5. ViCi had a kind of a slow default on that last rifle round, and part of the problem was they took too long to reclaim Banana. Part of the problem was GOSU's setup was too strong, and the baits ended up netting them kills for free. But I think the first thing that needs to be remedied is just how much time they wait before they grab map control. Gotta have at least apartments, Banana, or top mid by the minute mark.
Damn, they're banking frag grenades off of the skybox above apartments, and it blew up just next to the balcony while somebody was trying to jump up from alt mid. That's that little bit of damage you see on Zoking.
That's a warning shot. The bomb is retrieved. Sort of congregation of T's up into the apartments. One Molotov has been baited out. HSK held on to his nade for a good amount of time and turns that into about 30 damage on Advent. Soak and his teammate are going to reclaim mid from Arch. It's a good re-aggression. Oh, solid.
2 rounds in a row, they found somebody with their back turned, just slaughtered. The moment they started to make a move, we had great timing from GOSU yet again. I like this proactive 2-man setup they've been using on Arch side, Mohan.
And again, it's because ViCi have not cleared out the Banana, and GOSU constantly regressing. They had an extra player to lose because they had 4 at A, and they wanted to make sure they had info so they could rotate early. Not going to be a fake here for ViCi Gaming. They just don't have the manpower to do it, nor the nades. A couple of skilled players left, but no nades, no time. At least they have a place to hide. They'll save the guns, recycle them. And most likely, ViCi will buy behind this, but what a round from GOSU.
Yep, again, mid-round Arch control. You know, these smoke grenades are fading, and they're catching ViCi walking up with backs turned. That player who dies in the closest of columns has had his back turned into the wall twice. So
yeah, they just that brief moment of time where they want to leave that open, and I don't know if what the follow-up play is going to be. GOSU just get in the middle of it before maybe a flash comes over so he can peek Arch, or whatever the case is. But that's why it's always it is favorable for CTs to try to retake mid. It can get messy at times. Like, everything can fall apart if the wrong T is playing anti-flash, or if the Ts haven't come directly to top mid. You try to mentally time it based on the nades and flashes you hear. Like, okay, they're done clearing.
Yeah.
Right now, let's peek. And then they'll throw a flash, and sometimes you peek out and it just doesn't work out. But there's a situation where they had the AWP to peek out and a rifle to support from the back. So ViCi were just vehemently trying to trade. And it only got worse and worse and worse. But regardless, this is an answer to the primary issue of the last couple rifle rounds. Banana control has eased up, rotates for GOSU. It's also caused them problems for late round executes. ViCi will try to get in front of it, but they immediately fall back as GOSU go for the late retake. Once again, late and reclaiming map control. It's a very nice look. It's a very nice look. Quickly, ViCi switch it up, but as soon as Soak can work his way back to A, I mean, GOSU are going to have no problems. They could mess up here and give a free frag to the default if they're not patient, but you've got no reason to get crazy. And Jinx already looks like he has his protocol in mind, ready to drop a smoke on the lane so he could potentially jump up and one-way it. But ZoKing works his kill by himself.
There we go. First time now we've actually had ViCi with a successful arch hit straight out the gate. Jinx will just dance around this box. You talked about having a response already primed, and wow, between him and Stax, there was something going. However, it is traded efficiently by ViCi.
Oh, somebody just lurked by mid with Soak and Pit.
Goodbye. That is Omen.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Like Autumn.
Oh, man. Autumn. He's the man.
The Empire.
Just slipped right by Sioke. So, Mohan, we got ViCi on the board.
Not bad. I mean, they had to work hard for it. GOSU definitely made them work hard for it. Their setup, they look comfortable and everything. And then ZoKing, one of the most experienced players on the team, came out into Arch and took the Opera down by himself. I don't know if there was a dry peek involved. There might have been a dry peek involved. I'm not judging. But he got the op kill. And that had that allowed for the split. There was some nice movement around the box, as you highlighted, from Jinx, avoiding dying to the Arch player, and then turning around on the other side of the box, turning it into a headshot angle fight, killing him, and then looking for a second kill. That was cool. And ultimately, GOSU will have another shot at buying. But the C-Team setups are looking phenomenal. I'm loving them.
Yeah, we started with that deep grenade usage, and then as well we started getting rushes from middle. But now this is a different look from the setups, you know. So it's nice to see that they have straight out the gate setups when they look to bully their opponents, but then also some more reserved decision making. You know, stylistically speaking, you need to be able to change it up. But they are back onto the double man Arch side. It was that solo Arch player that that was bullied off of said position. So they're going to go back in with higher numbers.
Got a bait set up again. And what is the adjustment? Can this boost actually work? Oh my goodness, ZoKing, he got spotted. But yeah, they are at risk of getting spammed, and it's the man at the bottom of the totem that gets taken out first. The off gets dropped, and they are, most importantly, one less player on the A site.
Yeah, this could very well be enough to give him an edge. Smoke grenade actually bounces back into the face of Stax. Here comes Sioke from the corner, though. Nice hold. Solid stuff. It's not the entirety of the T's taken down, but one after another, they continue to fall, and it will be GOSU locking it down at A.
Wow.
Even with the missed smoke grenade from Stax, everybody won their duels, importantly.
That was a big thing.
Not just the player in the corner, not just the man in pit, but then that quick flex from Arch Rotator. He too picked up an op kill amidst it all.
It seemed like ViCi just barely missed the duels in terms of when to spot them, but at the same time, GOSU caught each of them off guard. So the late exit out of the Molotov that was in pit, that helped assist for a frag. The corner of the site not being cleared, assist for a frag. And that's kind of all it took for them to suddenly regain the man advantage that they lost a few moments ago and convert to the round win and put ViCi back on pistols. I want to say this would be a big upset, but I'm actually not sure about their history. So, you know, personally, I'm just pretty impressed by the way that GOSU are playing. And I can't wait to see if it continues. Anti-eco territory again is just highlighted. Jinx and HSK. Not going to get smoked out this round.
Thing is, okay. Let's just let that one sink in real quick. But there's still a little spacing, a little opportunity.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, what's nice is that the...
Okay, never mind. Hold it.
All right. HSK will make this quick.
Okay.
Or his rotator will instead. I was going to say what's nice is that, you know, what we're seeing from GOSU, it's not as if it's these, you know, just one-offs. It's like the core decision making, the positioning, the setups. These are things that they can do every single round, and it could take time for ViCi to figure out. You know, when they had that hold just now at the A bomb site, it's like each and every one of the positions held by the CTs were good for 1 kill, but they're also the types of positions that when you couple them one after another, you get all those kills at the very same time. So it makes trade fragging really difficult when the terrorist's attention is pulled into 3 separate directions, but simultaneously. That was really cool to see.
I could totally see, you know, I see exactly what you're saying. I wonder if they will have trouble catching on. And I wonder, more importantly, is GOSU gonna do stuff differently? If they lose another player, the first player again, and it's in the same position, would it be ViCi who wins? Here is what ViCi have had struggled to do all half. GOSU are relentless on Banana. They've used all the right utility. They've reclaimed it in very threatening ways, and ViCi have been quite the opposite. Their retakes on Banana have been weak. They haven't had the correct utility usage. The players on the team look somewhat despondent. They are up on Banana, great fraggers, but suddenly quite disjointed from their teammates, looking confused.
Bro, I feel like Lachio was shooting for like 30 seconds straight because he just keeps doing these little 1-2 bullet taps as he kind of pushes and clears every single possible position. You know, considering he had gotten the spray down and the Molotov and frag had done damage. You know, he was so confident in that he was going to pick up all the kills he could. And he did. That's the beauty of it all. But here comes the pit player on the op, HSK, finding Kaze. Zoking strikes from the top of the graveyard, and then he will grab bomb. But the moment he attempts to cross over, Stacks wide swings on him. So we've got GOSU 8-1, just locking down these CT sides. That Banana aggression, I've got to say, was really fun to watch.
It's sick. It's sick. I just wish that ViCi have shown us that they know what to do versus it, because it doesn't look like they do, and it's costing them a lot of rounds. And this the whole meta of the whole meta of Inferno, when a CT team wants to take Banana, suddenly becomes all about Banana. You know, if the CTs aren't adamant about trying to get Banana every round, the Ts don't have to worry about it quite as much. But that's where the CTs can kind of set the pace, and then the meta goes deep on Banana itself. And ViCi can't even can't get past phase 1. Oh, Freeman, is he going to clear this? Yeah. Oh, okay, there it is. An M4 dropped as Jinx overstays his welcome in balcony room.
Here comes Lachio, though, who had been down to the bottom of B. We talked about the aggression, and it works out once more. Nice work with the AUG. Good flurry of frags there. Freeman tries to give chase. Remember that M4 retrieved inside of the apartments, and with no armor, his job is that much harder. So Sioke will take 4. 9-1, and GOSU making quicker work of ViCi than Renegades did Akis.
Say it with your chest.
People can't see me.
He's going to do it. Yeah, sorry. Okay.
I was working up to it.
But it's true. It's true. Surprised to see this, man. Surprised to see this.
Yeah, I thought we'd have a closer game on our hands.
Happily surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot messier. I thought GOSU were going to be the worst team. I thought it was going to be a lot messier. And so, pleasantly surprised. More disappointed in ViCi than anything else. Still a few T rounds here for them to play with. Oh, the timing shot. Look, HSK looking so smug in his photo.
Heh. From the half wall.
You knew before the game started that he would hit that. And now GOSU ease up on the rotates. Oh, Stacks found a nice angle. Zoking, put into kind of an awkward spot where he has to wait for the fight to come to him, but he still wins.
Then falls. Jinx waiting in middle, fearing that there could be an anchor or someone on the other side, but that is not the case. ViCi currently with 3 Ts deep in this after plant on the A site. We've got Freeman up in the apartments. We've got Kaze in the pit. And that leaves Advent to play bomb site within itself. So he may be that last line of defense. Now they've gotten a confirmation on 2 of the 3 positions. Bomb more than halfway gone, so they need to get it rolling. And Kaze's fired off so many shots that they know exactly where he is. The bomb is blanketed in smoke, and the bomb site blanketed in GOSU. They will take it in the end.
Not losing a single player versus 3 on the site.
Right.
You know, it's a retake, that's one thing. But not losing a single player.
And I like it because Jinx, it's like, let's say, even if there was a terrorist playing Boiler or like Deep Porch, a guy like Jinx, who didn't know whether or not that was the case, made the right decisions in case there was. You know, he was cautious to the possibility, and in doing so, once you finally had all 4 players coming into the bomb site, it was all at the exact same time, and once more, too much to handle. So, good team play, again and again.
I want to say that even they were just very comfortable with what was going to happen in the halls. I think it was Jinx who baited Freeman into re-peeking. Just knew Freeman was going to swing out again. Went wide. And as soon as he did, Jinx had unpeaked and then peeked into him. So just reclaim that peeker's advantage even though he thought he was going to get really aggressive. Push that execute faster than it needed to go. Here he is again. But he goes down this time. HSK. However, can cut them off from the library. Takes a bit of damage looking for that extra kill. Trying to help out Stacks.
Oh boy.
His position last known. Oh boy, they're going to search hard for this.
They'll figure him out. Went face to face with the man inside smoke. Bomb planted once more. So this time we have one less GOSU player, one extra ViCi member, and a bomb plant already down. Low utility too. Smoke double flashbang for the retake. Do they anticipate Lakia being up here? Because Zoking obviously in the worst possible spot for that exact duel. Now, it's going to bolster the aggression from the players on Library. They may try to get into this a little quicker if they even decide to go at all.
Yeah, I think at this point they probably just have to call it here. But HSK is a bit trapped at this moment, is going to look for an exit kill and gets killed exiting. However, the AUG spray is good for 2. Very valuable lives have been lost in this post plant.
Yeah. Managing to find 3 frags and then even grabbing the op and dipping out of the problem. So this is ample money for GOSU to rebuy. ViCi just, you know, chipped at. They'll purchase, they'll be okay, but this does create an opportunity for GOSU to finish very strong in the half.
Does seem like when they ViCi surmise 1 kill on the A site, they find a way in, they get the bomb down, so that's cool. It's how easily can they do that? It's how easily will they be able to do that? A couple of nades to the bottom of mid, some damage dealt. Hopshot can only tell his team that it's a default at the very best. Nade goes high over the skybox, barely tags Freeman. It seems like that was a stringent lineup, but it missed by a smidgen.
It's the same one they used at the very start of the map, and I think what it's meant to do is, I think it's more of a timing nade too, where if they're boosting up into balcony, it really hits them, because it's blowing up at that level. Seems like a very precise grenade. You know, that's a drone strike and a half.
You barely get enough time for the nade to bounce off the skybox and hit the ground. So yeah, if it's going to explode in the air, and they know exactly where, they're pushing its limits. But
even 15 damage is the difference between an M4 one-shot kill and not.
Interesting. Lakia is going for information on the top of Banana.
HSK only going to get himself 1 off the op. Sioke, though, so close on the corner, little off angle like that, didn't see it coming. So you mentioned Lakia went aggressive down Banana, correct? To pick up that 1 kill?
He got a kill, yeah. No. I think someone was lurking this round, so it was a little bit of an adjustment for ViCi. They kept their options open. They had Banana control. The thing was, GOSU just went ahead and overstacked A even without seeing all the way down Banana. Trusted Lakia to get his frag. He's 12-3. He's like, your time has come. And sometimes teams do that, gambling on CT side, even without all of the information. But ViCi, I feel like had the right idea going to A, at least having the Banana control, so they could assume it may be a 2-3. But they were wrong, because GOSU gamble stacked, baiting them into A. And had the double arch setup, which has been so powerful for them. This sometimes it's an AUG in an op, sometimes it's a rifle in an op. But it's almost always 2 players supporting each other. And without the arch split, A hits are way weaker. Way weaker.
I just looked over the ages of the players on GOSU, Launders. They've got 3 18-year-olds. 3 18-year-olds. When you consider that MVP, the other South Korean team, is kind of revered as being one of the, on average, oldest teams in all of competitive Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
These guys are the complete and total polar opposite. So HSK gets that one little stint with MVP, you know, the old experienced boys on the block. And now he comes in with a new gang of goons, and GOSU are ripping through ViCi at the moment. This is wild stuff. 2, nearly 3 on the spray down from Seoke. We've got that quick banana flank coming in, and somebody to go check it is Omen. This is a decent opening. You know, you take the wins when you can, considering what you bought. But hold on with both hands, because here comes GOSU's retake. And these retakes have been convincing. Trade fragging efficiently, but Freeman, he's got the cover. And Advent's got the distraction done, so ViCi with an upset round. Look at all those corpses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Count 'em
Six
up.
dead bodies.
6.
Stacked up on the CT cross.
All there in the crossing. What a way to go. ViCi forced their way in. An eco round, the first of the game. Head first, up banana, into the site, into the boost. The first kill comes for free. The boost almost makes up for it. Almost, as you say, getting 3 kills. But then the 3v3 is just fine in the post plant. ViCi managed another one near the end of the half. Last round here, round 15. And we will be done seeing GOSU's fantastic CT side play out. Signs of life from ViCi is part of the story. I think this one will be the big tell. Can they do 2 in a row? String it together after that eco win? Can they win a round at B with rifles? Will they fall to another arch split where there are 2 CTs waiting for them? Or will they successfully take pit and hit A?
Well, using the Molotovs to at least get brackets in their back pocket. You know, a little utility play here, but GOSU aren't going to bite on the rotations just yet. Jinx is floating closer towards CT spawn, so you know he's open to the idea of it.
Rotations are good for GOSU. They've got the right read. 3 people here.
Now the grenades are telling. Got a little flashbang setup coming in as Jinx does cut down the numbers. Double peek off of Coffins. We could get the push from Jinx, and yes, he does come charging straight through, but what's the cost? They ultimately all lose their lives. It's going to leave it on those late A rotators to get the job done.
Pretty much the best spots for these guns to be rotating through. So HSK can post on quad if he wants to. And they will be concerned about that. Stax has also got the Molotov, which, oh, it's actually going to quad, so they'll flush this out perfectly, and then HSK can move. It's not a perfect Molotov, however.
Then the Coffin's kill to that of Advent. HSK predicts the back corner peek, and now he's going to have to charge forward if he wants this kill. Does have the kit, and he's got the frag too. 12-3, GOSU with another opening for ViCi, seeing as the B site did fall and an after plant went down, but they'll pick up the round at the end of that and a masterclass of a CT side, folks.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with the second half as ViCi take over the defensive. Let's see if they've got a little life in them or if GOSU pick up the win.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Bedway, and Pay Safeguard.
A 12-3 CT side that puts GOSU in the driver's seat and gives ViCi minimal chances of getting back into this game. Not only, Launders, do they have to climb back in rounds, but they need to find a solution to the likes of Sioke and HSK. These two have been lighting it up from start to finish, and we'll see if they can do it at the beginning of this second half too.
I've been happily humbled by the daunting scoreline from GOSU.
Yep.
I got bad information on the future. My sources lied to me. So I'm not going to take any personal responsibility from this.
I'm still kind of blown away. You know, I thought after the Renegades game that of the two best of ones you and I were opening this day with, I thought this would be the close one. You know, I'm thinking like 8-7, 10-5 halves maybe, and even this 12-3 was just very convincing.
Let's see. Let's give ViCi this pistol.
Yeah.
Let's grace ViCi with this pistol, and let's see what GOSU can do on this on the T side.
We will allow it.
There it is. It has been said.
But does GOSU listen? Or does GOSU get going? Got just stacks filling up this beef.
Oh, they pulled everybody. Oh my god.
Goofballs on the rotation. Zoking will at least come back towards Arch, and
okay,
yeah, he cuts off bomb.
What the heck?
Then headshots.
See, we allowed it. I mean, there was not supposed to be a way for ViCi to win that round. There was probably. How does the bomb even get caught off? They were so far away.
Yeah, bomb was the last guy in. That's why you want to put the bomb in the middle. You know, it doesn't need to be first.
Yeah, second to fourth, you know? Second may be a mistake, but better than first. Fifth better than fourth. Fourth is probably the ideal. But either way, I mean, it was quite a fake, but it was destiny. ViCi had to win this pistol, give him a couple anti-ecos, get some confidence back, pay the CT side, you know? This is, oh. This is a small misnade from Zoking. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We see a GOSU on an eco for, what, the first time in the whole game?
Yeah, feels like it. They were in absolute and utter control on that CT side. I don't even know if they broke a sweat. They've gone quiet, Mohan. Very quiet.
Radio silence on the server.
Just chilling out in the depths of mid.
First sign of contact, nade pops early.
And a smoke follows suit. Rotate is there from Omen.
I like the 3A setup lane side from ViCi. They don't have info on Arch. It looks like those are going to continue on into the site. They've got enough nades to just sparsely toss one or two in at a time. And try to bait stuff out in response. They can explode off this. It might be hard to deal with.
Especially with the Molotov on the feet of Advent. He just goes for the drive-by. 25 bullets down range with 1 kill to his name. Then, hot on the heels of his dead teammate, jumps onto the coffin, cannot deny plant. Kaze actually only finding himself 1 as well. So there are some losses stacking up here for ViCi. Nice dink through the edge of the wood, but Advent will still win this duel. A Deagle on stacks and 3 CTs coming at him. A weird bit of movement there from Freeman coming off of the top ropes, and that's enough to offset the crosshair in order to make the retake happen. So 3 survivors.
A very sick, very methodical eco strat though, and they didn't have to invest a lot. You know, that's like one of those tips videos. How to make $10 last 3 months, you know? Like, they got so much value out of those smokes.
I just feel like the way
analysts hate him.
I feel like the way you said that makes me feel like you've made some of those videos. I'm waiting for them to come out.
They're deep on the channel. Okay? It goes way back. But they had thrown just 1 flash to take banana. They timed everything well. They didn't put themselves in much danger the entire time, and they had like even a Molotov for first oranges to catch ViCi out of position. But now ViCi tried to stop the problem before it starts.
Yeah, and considering the amount of utility GOSU still bought up into this, you know, they had a little bit of extra buck to spread around. Well, it gets utterly denied. You know, we talked about the methodology in the previous round and how those grenades all came in nicely. Well, not this time. It was much messier. And that to the favor of ViCi, of course. They get their op, and so does HSK. We've got a gun round in round 19.
They do, and it's kind of the perfect amount of money where they all afford their nades. HSK the exception, but got the most important one, a smoke grenade. A smoke. They have one a smoke. Kaze, not doing too hot. Not doing too hot. Flash goes high. Almond to try to jump peek. Banana control looks solid. All right, this is what we wanted. Standard default, lots of map control taken from the CTs, or by the CTs. Will GOSU be able to take it back? How are they going to deal with Banana? They've left Almond now. He's in a position where, you know, he might need some support or someone on flex. I don't like that they're, you know, they've got one player from the CTs spotting from Arch. This doesn't look like a strength in sight, but they have the op to compensate. So you could have a situation where you have the op on B, 4 players at A. Instead, they're kind of playing op on A with 3. And lots of banana control. 3 people working on top bracket control simultaneously. There's a couple players at bottom mid. But that's all kind of GOSU look to get out of it. Smoke's come down on the site. It's an A hit.
A little bit of smoke back the other way. We get this response out from ViCi. The entries are now starting to trickle in. Lakia, quick headshot, Freeman removed. I like that Sioke wraps all the way around that box, but he does lose bomb, and Kaze will punish them with a second kill of his own. Now, Advent's already revealed himself. He fires off some bullets, and as the bomb is planted, they only need to figure out where Omen's at. Omen dancing around this pillar. Oh, Advent's working closer to it. HSK's patiently honed in on this. He's just waiting, and he hits the mark. Now they change all their direction the other way, and it's HSK with both.
Nice. Pretty solid post-lamp positions. I was thinking they were just going to move into the back of sight, left and right, play up on the boxes, hold their positions. That ended up working out just fine. GOSU win the round. They kind of, that's a round I really want to watch back to see from more perspectives how they ended up pulling off the site exec. There was a smoke between default and the wall, and then they decided to wrap around it. They went 1-for-1 on the balcony player, who's also the pit player, and that opened things up for sure. Somebody else died before that, but GOSU kept it pretty simple. They allowed ViCi to have bottom banana control, which is, you know, one thing they might want that might be concerning. But I think they got the op kill without losing anybody. I think the op was like out in front of Graveyard, and he just got killed trying to cross. Oh, no, the op was in the back of the site, actually. It went 1-for-1. Or 2, got 2 kills. So it was a good try.
Good effort. Good effort indeed. Now this is when the real pressure starts to sink in if you're ViCi. Obviously, strong start, but it was a pretty damn good round from GOSU. I like the way they isolated the A players, worked around the smokes, traded proficiently, and have now pushed ViCi into the depths of their economic realms. Jinx is doomed.
It's hot.
Burnt to a crisp.
He didn't have a smoke ready for himself, just in case that was a problem. Or he did, and he thought he was fine, but that is a big win for ViCi Gaming. Important that they pulled this 2 in a row off, just so that they can buy next round.
Look at the deep control from ViCi off the back of that kill. I'm surprised nobody else threw a smoke just to save him. Yeah, they just let him die.
I think he thought he was okay. That was the problem. Like, he wasn't totally carpeted in the Molotovs, or he just like ran out one way. He's like, I could just, if I just...
It looked like there was a gap.
It seemed like it. It's very deceptive. Could be fantastically placed Molotovs. We know there's a bit of variance with the way that Molotovs land. A Molotov like that is only going to delay for time, because now they have to clear that again. Shot goes off from HSK, who's jump spotting, and they finally clear it. 45 seconds off. Lackey is escorted to top mid. Volatile position for him to be in. We all know this. But common as well. Dupree kind of the king of it.
Lucky actually gets burned out of his position. So they know that there's this floater at the A site, and because of that, I really do enjoy Zoking rotating over towards B. You know, you figure out just this one guy who's trying to tuck away behind the pillars. Why would that be? Well, because he's meant to be the anchor, a potential flank. Almond going to get himself one headshot, but there are quite solid responses coming out of GOSU now. They will have bomb on the back of the site with 9 health on Lakia. 2 CTs coming in, but a bomb plant.
He has an op. If he takes control of construction, 1 kill could come for free. They might not anticipate the op to be here, and they are potentially going to move in together through CT. This could be good, but no, Kaze immediately pre-fires it with a USP, and ViCi takes the round on a defuse. He was low HP. There was not a ton of hope. Overall, solid round from ViCi. They helped each other out really well with the rotates. They held on to banana control for a significant amount of time, to the point that GOSU had to run through a smoke into B, excuse me, and were really scared, I think, about getting on the site in time. If they had more time at the top of banana, I don't think would have gotten caught with a nade or a bomb out running around the corner trying to trade out oranges.
And I think one of the reasons that they didn't have time, it doesn't necessarily boil down to the clock as much as losing that A player, because you probably realize that your opponents have figured out what you're up to, and you want to still make the most of it. So you've lost the element of surprise, but it's still so soon that you can maybe patch the hole before the boat sinks. And in this case, they just got battered by the white rapids of that rotation inwards. Still, kills. Bomb plant? Sure, it's something. But do you think it's something enough to get this big old buy on the table? Lakia's got an AK, decent set of utility. Everybody's got the armor to play with. I feel like GOSU were confident in this one.
It's good that they didn't spend all of their money on this round, even though they're committing on a couple of people. That leaves options open. Again, in the middle of the half, I really... Huge proponent of never buying down to 0. You know, maybe a few hundred, but... Your rifle rounds are the most important, even though your eco rounds are winnable.
Got everybody boxed up towards A. Lakia dodging the odd shot. Doesn't want to go all the way around the corner. Don't blame him. You know, you're already successful in kind of springing this attack.
Got a moto smoke out.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy. Zoking plays anti-flash in the corner. Freeman behind him. And that op just on the other side of the box. So, Apartments is being watched very intently, but the bomb, 2 other players are going to go arch. They could redirect towards B, and they get the kill versus Advent, but yep, they're gone. They hit this up lane at the very same time. Bomb actually seems to want to come in on this, and they are going to just try to hammer their head forward to the A site, but they fall into the trap. Zoking will still die at the end, so all they've done is culled the numbers and bought time.
Bomb has been planted.
Almond's creeping inwards. Does have a smoke and no kit currently on him, but he's scoped in, so he doesn't catch Lakia. GOSU, they had to make a really quick decision as to whether they wanted to commit to A or try and bail out to the B bomb site. It cost them bodies, but they worked it out in the after plant after.
They did, and yeah, clock ticked down. They got the arch frag, and they're thinking, all right, let's make it last second adaptation, split through CT, go to B. And then their teammate gets a kill on lane, and they're thinking, oh my goodness, do we turn this around? Do we cancel a call? That is one of the most stressful situations to be in with the time ticking down that low. They had no nades left over, and they ran the risk of going to B and having somebody at quad who could spot them, who knew that they were running there because their teammates like small death cam, you know? So there was a tough decision to be made, but they made the right one. Traded out on the site, got the bomb down. Really difficult 2v1 to win when you have an AWP, and now GOSU are 2 away from closing out their first map.
I think it's an even more daunting task. Remember, they get the pick on the arch side player, and one of the lane men gets a kill towards A site too. So you're thinking, what, worst case scenario, 1 more player inside of the bomb site, maybe over in pit. But no, there were 2 players still up from ViCi in good cover between those boxes. And that's one of those moments where, like, you know, if ViCi had just turned around and stopped it in its tracks, I wouldn't have been surprised. Like, it takes some pretty, pretty high-pressured trade frags in order to make that happen, but they did it.
And the other thing was the 3-walk arch was cool too, because it seemed like it was going to be a full-on lane hit. They smoked Moto right away and then 3-walked arch late. They did that all on very low utility.
An even lower time.
So there it is. Orange's Molotov goes out. Oh, Advent going to be running through that and eating a flash.
Yeah, more than a flash, Launders. He eats an SG shot to the head. Blackia takes some to the back, so a little team kill here makes things questionable, seeing as ViCi will rotate over. Haven't been able to pick up any of the guns dropped, and there goes Zoking. I was thinking to myself, this flank could be huge because Jinx and HSK, they're just standing inside of the pit. They had no cover had Banana been taken, but now they know exactly where the last man is. Freeman trying his best with the deagle, sees the shadow, bangs the second frag, and just misses versus Seoke. That would have been huge.
That would have been nasty. Yeah, that would have been nasty, but that was a really good side exec. It was a layered exec. You know, that's something we always talk about. Is it, how simple is the exec? They had flashes come out 5 seconds after they executed. Everybody was blind once.
Yep.
Great sign. They also picked the perfect spots to Molotov out. Orange's common spot that GOSU have been playing in. Advent went right through it into the front of the smoke. And ViCi have been smoking them out at the correct time. Oh, that's a dirty frag. And ViCi have been smoking them out at the right times, but it's much more impressive that GOSU seem comfortable coming through that smoke and still look well prepared to have to deal with the thought of a player being on the other side of it. Another force up as ViCi are on their last breath. Kaze recovers the scout. Nobody else has nades that can do damage, but they are stacking correctly.
Stacks there, numbers could be 2. Boils down to the frags. All of GOSU running up, could just actually feed them into the CZs. The flashbangs are certainly going to help out a bit. Yes, sir, 4 and 5. ViCi, good positioning. They make the most of a very chaotic hit, and that buys them at least a little bit more time here on the defensive.
Solid hold for ViCi. Good nades over on the site. The Molotov behind default is a nice touch. You can't really play that box safely. They've got to take like a wider angle. It's hard to, you know, hard to tell what you can work with the fire at your feet, especially when you know they're calling out a position you're standing in. But ViCi handled it well, and again, had the good stack. They had 4 people there, ready and waiting. And suddenly, all of the money has been siphoned out of GOSU's bank accounts. They've got a singular AK. They did a lot on a buy like this in a previous round, but this time it's 1 AK less, a couple nades less, and look at that. They wanted Hall's control, but that'll be pushed back another 15 seconds. Store clerk has left the sign. And Advent is just making sure that his teammates can overstack the correct side again.
The numbers game has been good from ViCi. You know, they're getting bodies in front of the hits, at least in these most recent rounds. Definitely giving themselves the best edge possible. But here comes the burst from GOSU, flying forward out of the balcony right into the meat grinder. It is 4 convincing kills, 3 of which come off Zoking. Amen activates through middle, and we have ourselves 6 map and match points still for ViCi to play with.
Prolonging the inevitable, maybe?
Could be.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Mind you, I do feel like ViCi are kind of, you know, they've been warming up here slightly. I've been more impressed as this game has gone on.
They stopped 1 solid execute. They did. They've actually had a couple of the force buys that they've only had to deal with, which is good. Overall, we'll see. We'll see a lot more next round, as this is, you know, when GOSU, if they haven't woken up, will wake up. But they're kind of having done onto them what ViCi did on, or what GOSU did in their first half. Difference being, I've seen way better T stuff from GOSU than we saw from ViCi.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, I still, even though these most recent rounds have gone the other way, it's like, I still believe in GOSU. They've just been more convincing at times. Jinx. You know that whole time the player hiding in the corner is thinking, just wait till he walks up, I'm going to get him. But it's Zoking who gets them. 3 T's shut down on the push-up from Arch. They wanted to go join their teammates onto the B site, but didn't quite get it rolling. Because of that instantaneous flank as well, Kaze and the rotator of Zoking over towards B. GOSU know they're boxed in. They are doomed.
Can only fight their way out of this one. UMP from long range won't be all that useful. The Eagle also is neutralized. Final moments, last 5 rounds of the game. GOSU will have one of their last full buys. Fortunately enough for them, it's going to be buy save, and maybe a couple extra buys if they get bomb plants. They have been working in the sites. If we look at these last 5 rounds, there hasn't been one, so that's something nice for ViCi. But I think it's been 2 force-ups, 1 eco, or 2 ecos, 1 force-up. Here on this round, light on Molotovs are GOSU. Distinct utility advantage for ViCi, and in opening op duel 1 for Kaze. Stacks goes down early. GOSU haven't done a thing yet.
Fishing for some damage in mid, but soon enough they're going to see that there's absolutely 0 presence there on Banana, even despite Advent doubling back to the B site. So we've got a 4 versus 3 on A to unfold, but Kaze's op continues to pick them apart one after another.
Ooh.
He will find himself a 3rd, spotting Lakia up in the apartments. Makes this one all the harder. This man's on for the ace, but Freeman will help him out with it. 4 rounds now is the only difference we have. Mohan, this CT side is convincingly starting to piece itself together.
Definitely is, and you know that round's all Kaze.
100%.
What a series of op frags. Every single one of those kills, it was a test of his patience and calmness, because it was a peak that he wasn't ready for, but he didn't just go for some fast flick. He tracked quite quickly, but patiently made sure he was on them. Risk taking a bullet.
But risk versus reward.
Yeah, I think he certainly would have missed at least one of those and died, and allowed the site to be compromised if he wasn't as patient as he was. If only slightly. And he definitely is star player material, that Kaze.
Don't know if he realizes just how close he was to Jinx. Or Seoke.
Oh, it's rotation time. Oh, Freeman gets a kill though.
Yeah, big one. Dropping bomb.
Look at that.
Nice. I see what you mean now, like that just minute amount of insurance policy before he pulls the left trigger. I love watching oppers like that. You know, it's a little bit riskier, but when they have those pistols, it's not like you're all too likely to be taken down. So invest the extra bit of time. Invest the potential loss of 20, 25 HP. Nail your shots. Don't let them get close. And all of a sudden, we are 3 rounds away from overtime.
Sure, it looks a lot better when you like have an opera that puts on the blindfold and just throws her mouse across the room.
Yeah.
But that looks scarier to have to deal with.
Yep. I'd rather be on the other end of a flicky opper than some guy like this.
Sure. Deep smoke down mid, and it's for the sake of control. They aren't going to use anything for it. It's just going to alarm GOSU, make them think about ults, have to change their default if they were going to start by pushing down on Banana. This maybe makes it a bit easier for ViCi to take Banana control. 4 players drift towards A, standard practice for the CTs when they can do it. It's not an op here, however, it's just Almond. Shouldn't say just Almond, it's Almond.
Numbers again. ViCi, they've been doing good calls on the rotating timing. Obviously made easier by the fact that nobody's messing with Almond.
GOSU need to work the body a little bit.
Yep.
Going right into the full execs. And the execs look good. But
so does ViCi.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. They've filtered actually to top bracket, are going to go B. So the 4-1 setup, Almond gets tagged down. They won't have time to clear out Lakia when seeing this. This is going to be very alarming for them. Initial flash to go out. They're going through this. Yep, and Lakia gets the clerk frag.
Last time we had something similar.
They're taking it back.
Lackey was actually killed in the process. Now, if he goes down, that's going to put them in a really awkward spot, but they're going to try to hit this A site, and it's a Colonel defense.
Very tough.
It is Zoking and Freeman within it. One in the corner, a classic position to just mow down bodies. Jinx, with such little health, does get a kill, but, oh man, Freeman nearly locking it all down, cannot stop them in their tracks, so the bomb is planted. The retake's on. Advent 1v2. He's coming in with 0 utility. Got a molly frag on stacks, and he's back inside of pit, little pit to be precise. All he has to do is uncrouch to put his head up. And as the bullets whiff by, HSK now hones in. He's waiting for the player to push, which is an inevitability. Does he get pre-fired? No, nearly. And then Stacks continues to throw incendiaries, tries to pull the attention away, and in the end will get his kill. It's GOSU 16-12. But trials and tribulations on that there T-side launders. It seemed like ViCi were out of it ages ago. But eventually, GOSU break through, and it's an elaborate double rotate. Something new that we hadn't seen previously is the way they win the game.
You mentioned once on one of the previous rounds where GOSU were on T-side, they lost Lakia on a 4-1, didn't have the options to go back. And sometimes he will die, but there we saw what they can do with him still alive, catching a rotator, bringing it back to A, after they had lured the rotates over to the B site, and he almost needed to get the second kill. There could have been a hold involved that stopped them there for sure. Freeman, as you mentioned, almost cleaned up. But ultimately, it was still very cerebral play from GOSU, and although they had to try extra hard in the last few moments of that game, I still want to say they had a great T-side. It was just that ViCi finally looked somewhat good.
Yep. That was the ViCi on the CT side that I kind of expected from round 1. But like you said, GOSU's T-side continued to look good because it was so fresh. There was something different being thrown out each round. You know, we had, even on the ecos, different strategies, whether it be coming down to the B hit or the apartments pop. You know, it didn't work, but it was at least different. So I'm sure even towards the very end there, ViCi still struggled to have a read. Even though successful rotates and good holds too. But at the end of the day, it is GOSU's victory, folks. So they'll be moving on to the winner's best of 3. Launders and I will be moving on to a break, and we'll be back with North American Counter-Strike later. But there's still plenty of Asian CS to enjoy, so you're not going to want to go too far, folks. The best of 3s start